Let me tell you a story. Last quarter, I helped a business that had all the marketing and sales ammunition, but lacked positioning and messaging to get their ICP to convert. They initially had a lot of folk in the pipeline that most likely would pay what they wanted, bring in the good money and provide awesome case studies and more than likely boost their overall profile. But the thing was, they probably weren't going to convert for another 6 to 12 months. So after doing some dialogue, some diagnosis, some deep dive into a lot of various conversations and getting to the bottom of things for context, we made simple but effective changes to their efforts. We simplified everything to focus on who would pay the most, the fastest, and then brag about it. I know, simple, easy, mind blown, right? But that's the thing. When you break it down, sometimes we're so deep into it, we don't identify the most obvious things we must prioritize first. Simplify it, achieve it, repeat it, build a system around it, and then do it again. Understanding, here's for context. Understanding, they took a massive hit in Q4 of 2021, and they were definitely off to a super slow start in 2022. We had to realign their entire strategy around what would provide them the most cash flow in the least amount of time, while simultaneously opening opportunities for new potential customers within their pipeline through, hopefully, the new business they would acquire. That slight change of direction made all the difference for their sales team and refocused their marketing, messaging, branding, and tactical efforts. Now, the big fish they were nurturing, the ones that were 6 to 12 months out, they weren't going anywhere because they were 6 to 12 months out of closing. There was no point of chasing after them, trying to nurture them more, trying to be more assertive and coming off as very spammy, very desperate when they really weren't going to move the needle for the next 6 to 12 months. Even though one of them, two of them, or all of them was going to make the significant difference in their profit margins and their sales and their revenue, all the things. But that's not now. I can only worry about what I have in hand. I can't think about what I don't have. Even if it's almost a guaranteed thing 3, 6, 12 months from now, that's not today. That's not this moment. In this minute, in this moment, in this season, it's zero. I can't consider things I don't literally have in hand. Money literally in my bank. Contracts that were literally signed. Therefore, the time and money literally was more important than trying to continue the conversations with the bigger fish. So we reset everything. Here's the thing I want you to really take away. Sometimes it's not that your efforts aren't currently working to make you more money, to build your authority, to do everything that you want to do. It's understanding the bigger picture of what efforts are the most essential to focus on right now to position yourself for sustainability first and then scaling second. You cannot scale if you aren't stable. And I think sometimes people forget that. They are so focused on the championship round, they may lose focus on the current playoff series they need to win first. Now, the great thing is, once we were getting these smaller, more achievable wins that therefore kept the cash flow solid, increased the morale and kept it high, and also the announcement of those acquisitions actually spurred conversations that might have helped speed up some of the bigger fish conversations and conversions of the time window because they didn't look desperate. They looked, hey, we're going to make our money. We're going to keep moving. We're going to do what we do best for the clients, for the customers, for the audience that we serve. This train ain't stopping, so get on board. Slight difference, just a slight change of hand. Now, what I've articulated in 3 minutes took about 3 to 6 months of deep work, of convincing, of modifying, of developing conviction and confidence, of rearranging the messaging, repositioning the marketing, repositioning the go-to market strategy, modifying the content, understanding who our target audience now is and how we're going to have conversations with them, equipping the sales team with different strategies and tactics because they were so conditioned to the long-term game versus the quick wins. You have to position your language differently. You have to do your outbound and your inbound marketing differently. You have to understand what words to use and what words not to use, how to nurture. Yes, you can hire people to do these things, but if you're strapped for cash, you might be better off hiring someone who can train your existing team to learn how to do these things. Or maybe you don't have the volume of people, bringing an outside source to help fill in that void, fill in that gap to make things happen. This all comes back down to making the investment.